What is going on, everybody? Holy moly. Saturday night. Duncan, what is going on? How are you? Oh, I know the game's not over yet. There's still like a couple seconds left or whatnot. And I have zeros. I got 4 zeros across the board. Man, who saw that coming? I thought about it, and it actually cost me some money. But what a crazy two NFL games. I'm not saying the Chiefs held on. I'm not saying the refs didn't help the Chiefs. All I'm saying is the Texans could have done just a little bit better. But for the Lions and Commanders game, for the Commanders to come out and just pistol whip, I'm telling you, they hit the over-under, I think, with like 5 minutes left in the first half. Absolutely crazy. Right now, I mean, seriously, who had the Lions losing today? Lions suck. Yeah, Duncan, I feel you. I know you're a Green Bay Packer fan. And, you know, I've been kind of saying it. They're eventually going to have to play a good team. But we'll talk more about that in a minute. Let me go ahead and get me a little drink going here. It's Saturday night. Hope y'all having a good little fun. Yeah, it's a holiday weekend. Yeah. So I had to go out to dinner tonight. Granddaughter's birthday. Knocked back some. I always got to order off the me. I called it. Yeah, you did. And I sat there and looked at it because I put the Lions in a couple parlays, and I was like, okay. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and I actually was apprehensive a little bit to make them win straight up, and I was a little apprehensive for the Chiefs as well. I was like, man, like of all the games, I go, I'm just really nervous about these two games. I am nervous about these games. And I messaged my uncle, and I said they would win. There you go. Nice. And so anyways, yeah, I'm sitting there watching the game. We watched we watched pretty much all the Texans-Chiefs game. And then the Commanders-Lions game, that started. I think we came home during I think we got home. It was still like first quarter. Lions got exposed, I'm telling you. And then, of course, once you saw that the Lions were getting they couldn't stop anything, not looking that great, and then out come the post and the memes or whatever on X about our defense is injured. We're not good. We're just, everyone's injured. That's not the same. I'm like, well, that's, whatever. Cool. I mean, I actually put I think I put on there it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And, of course, my co-host, Alan, he's a massive Lions fan, and he wasn't worried for a second. Defense was awful. Dude, Henson, the defense was terrible. It was awful. Goff was awful. Ugh, it was painful to watch, And they dialed up trick plays and stuff, and a lot of them worked. And then, I guess interceptions got a little contagious on the sideline, and, J-Mo's chunking interceptions as well. So, I don't know, man. It's tough one. It's a tough one, especially when it costs you in the wallet, costs you your fandom and everything like that. They're going to be bad next year because they're going to lose both their coordinators. You ain't wrong there, Duncan. I don't think you're wrong at all. And let's be honest, I don't think Campbell's. I've said it for a couple of years now. He's not a good head coach. He doesn't really know how to manage the clock or anything like that. He's a good hype man, right? He can get you excited. He can get you going. I mean, he had all these Detroit Lion fans just ready to run through a wall in their trailer to do something. I don't know what, but his coordinators are the team. He gets everybody all hyped up and riled up and whatever, but their coordinators, they're gonna struggle. Dason, how are you? What's up? So, Henson, did you see it coming? I mean, we made our picks this week, and I think we picked the Commanders to cover because it was a lot of points, right? Same thing with the Chiefs, Texans. So I think we picked the Texans to cover. And then that game was just, I don't know if anybody watched the Kansas City game. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. But it was a sloppy kind of a game. Fairbairn's missing field goals. Everything just firing to the right. I know it was kind of windy, but he's missing field goals, missing extra points. Game was ugly. And then I'll tell you one thing I did not like at all. I know what I said. The Mahomes flop was the most pathetic thing I've seen. Like, what are you doing, dude? You're already going to get the call. You get every single call there ever is. Like, he was scrambling once, and he realized he was stuck between like two of his linemen and like three defenders, and he goes to half-ass slide. I will say this, the defenders kind of went towards his helmet but didn't hit him or whatever. And then, of course, they throw the flag on that, and those refs, man. I'm telling you, the refs. So no more TikTok people crying. Yeah, actually, I said so long to it because every time we went live, we got flagged for hate speech. And it was more because of what RD hates or something like that. And I didn't like people who drive in the left lane under, going 10 miles under the speed limit with their left turn signal on, just hogging up traffic and stuff like that, or stuff like whatever. It just stuff that no one likes, and so we get banned every single time. Pain in the ass. I don't really care. I post some quick beer reviews and some other things like that on there. Don't care if it goes. I did notice one thing. My wife was saying that it said that she had invited other people to join the new TikTok that the Chinese Communist government created because of this, or some shit. I don't know. Whatever I don't know. Whatever. Anyways. And so she was like, I don't even know what this is. I go, that's because they're just trying to get people to go over to this other damn thing. So, but yeah, for me, TikTok sucked. It's nothing but, it's just dumb for me. It's not for me. Drew, how you doing? Slet, what's up? Yep. Damn. Suck. Yep. Sucks to suck. You know what I'm saying? Chief simply got too many calls. That's impossible to beat. You can't beat too many calls. I'll tell you that. TikTok sucks worse than the NFL refs. I agree. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? It's Mahomes, right? And who was reffing tonight? There was someone reffing. It's the same dude. It's that needle-nosed dude. I don't know if I should say that. But is it Clay Martin? Clay Martin, right? Clay Martin has reffed 6 Kansas City games with Mahomes, and Kansas City is 6-0 with Martin calling the penalties. And the penalties are just overwhelming. You can't beat the refs and the Chiefs. I've said it all season. The only person that comes to the defense of the Chiefs and the refs are the Chief fans. But even they have to. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. That's how something was up today. There was a call. There was a false start call. First one all season. This dude's been getting a jump all season. They finally decided to call it. They must have been like, you know what? We're going to try to keep it even. And they were going to try to keep it even. And then, it just fell apart. It just crazy calls, phantom calls, roughing the passer. But I'll tell you this. All those calls, all those terrible phantom whatever calls did not make Fairbairn miss those field goals and get one block, that is. So just do better. Knock those field goals down, hit your PATs, and just take it out of their hands. Who's to blame at that point? I mean, really I think it was 12-23 or whatever. At the end of the game, the Chiefs just ran in the back of the end zone, gave them extra 2 points. Because I think it was 20, was it 23-12? I think so. I can actually click on it because, the internet, right? And this was actually kind of a boring game. I will say this. This was the boring of the two games. I was having the time of my life watching the Lions and Commanders. Jaden Daniels could be the future of the league. Just saying. The dude's amazing. Houston Texans 14, Kansas City Chiefs 23. Texans put up 3 points in the first, 3 points in the second, 6 in the third, and then of course the safety in the fourth, which was them just running into the end zone. Chiefs put up a couple field goals in the first, 6 points, scored a tutty in the second, and then packed on 10 in the fourth. What are you gonna do? I mean, C.J. Stroud, he was so much better last year than he was this year. So much better. Mixon ran for 88 yards and a touchdown. Nico Collins had 5 for 81. Travis Kelce, he had a hell of a game. 7 receptions for 117 yards and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 8 carries for 44 yards. He got that touchdown, which was wild because Kelce got him all the way down kind of into the red zone. They're like on like the 5-yard line maybe. You give it to Pacheco. Pacheco runs like an effing lunatic. I love it. Boy, he's physical. Gets him down to like the 1, and then they bring in Kareem Hunt, and Kareem Hunt just falls in the end zone. Like, okay, cool. So, but yeah, that game was rather boring. It just was. And I was like, okay. And I don't know what turns me off quicker to a football game than just terrible officiating, right? And it's getting worse. They know it. Everyone knows it, right? I don't know what's going to happen next year. I do not know, but that is terrible. Daniels could also never live up to his season again. You never know. He is super calm, but he's also a $180 soaking wet. I looked at my wife. I told her, I was like, look, this guy is sitting on the sideline. He's up by 10 points right now against this badass team that everybody keeps talking about. He's up by 10. He looks cool as a cucumber. He looks like he's trying to figure out, like, you know what? What's for dinner tonight? Are we going to, I mean, you think, what do you want? You know, we're in Detroit. I don't even know what the hell Detroit people eat. I don't even know what a famous restaurant is up there. Like for us, like in Kentucky, we're like, hey, we're going to go to Frisch's or Big Boy. And then down here in Texas, like, hey, we're going to hit up IHOP or Waffle House. That's kind of what it is. I don't know what the hell's up in Detroit. Don't know. Don't care. Don't tell me either, because I don't need to know. McLaurin is an absolute stud. He is a stud. Been talking about him all year. And with he has Daniels there. He is right back in the talk of just being a wide receiver one stud, and I'm here for it. Obviously, I am absolutely here for it. He's an amazing receiver, and loved watching him work tonight, to be honest with you. All right, flipping over to the Commanders game. The final score is 45-31. That's a little bit closer. I actually had the score already kind of punched in before I jumped on here. You know, garbage time is garbage time, but let me just say this. They only added 3 points because they were at 28, if I'm not mistaken. So 45-31, Washington Commanders. Slow start. You know, they kicked a field goal in the first. Detroit countered with, they had a touchdown. And then you got the Commanders scoring 28 MFing points in the second. You got a pick six in there, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, just lit their ass on fire. Let me get this off the screen. Sorry about that. And I'm glad you're here, Mr. Henson. I'm glad everybody's here. Welcome in, everybody. We're actually live on all of our channels right now. Strikeout Beer, SB Fantasy Football Podcast. So we got both of most of the bulk of the views are right now on X. Appreciate you being on X. And then, you know, like I said, Commanders put up 28 points in the second quarter. Detroit puts up 14. It's a hell of a game going. I'm like, I cannot believe they're up by 10. I go, oh my God, what the hell's going on? This is crazy. Commanders get blanked in the third. Detroit scores a tutty. Like, all right, some action. We're getting some action here. And then Commanders put up 2 touchdowns in the fourth. And the Lions, all they could muster is a field goal. I'll tell you this, the onside kick was absolutely bonkers. Because you have to declare it, and they kept everybody spread out. I don't know if you got to keep everybody spread out or what, but you definitely have to declare it. So then they know what's coming. Henson, if you want to talk, man, I've got the phone right here. I can hook it up to the thing. You can call in. Give us your thoughts, man. You ain't got to type all this stuff. It's up to you. Goff got leveled at that pick six. We'll talk about that here in a second. So, yeah, final score 45-31. Daniels threw 299 yards, had 2 touchdowns. Goff, 313 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions. And that actually sealed the game, right? And one of them was a pick six. He also had a fumble. Jahmyr Gibbs, 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. They were losing their mind. They're just, Brady and whoever the hell the other commentator was, they're just just jerking it, going, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, Brian Robinson had 2 touchdowns too. Cool. No one cares. You don't care about that, do you? De'Ami Brown, 6 receptions, 98 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown's 8 receptions, 137 yards. And I would say some of that obviously is in garbage time. There were some drops, there were some other things like that. But Goff, funny enough, like half the memes, like on X and whatnot, where they were pulling. It was the Scooby-Doo, right? They're pulling the mask off the bad guy, and it was Goff. The top one was Goff with a Lions jersey on. They pulled off, and it's Goff with a Rams jersey on. And it's just like, yeah, no, I mean, what are you going to do in like a couple years? Like, how long do you plan to stay with Goff? You do not have another quarterback kind of sitting there. You got Teddy Two Gloves. I mean, he's okay, but he ain't going to get it done either. So what is your next step? And this is something I'm going to ask Alan, obviously, and this will be next year talk. I don't give a shit about it right now. I don't care to even talk about it, to be honest with you. I'm more about fantasy and whatever, not trying to figure out the future of the Detroit Lions. And now you're hearing they were, I'll tell you this right now, and I was talking about it earlier. They could have been the Cinderella, the American sweetheart, the everyone loves, they want them to win, yada, yada, yada. But the fan base lost their effing mind and just became obnoxious, like Dallas Cowboy fan base obnoxious. It was sickening. It was terrible to listen to. And, it might have affected me a little bit more than most people, I guess. because I got to deal with Allen, and he just, God. But I feel bad for him tonight. I know I hope he's okay. I don't want to text him to check in on him or anything like that. I want him to just heal on his own, and then I'll see him next week. I'm not going to bring it up, obviously. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not trying to, listen, you're looking at a Bengals fan here. I know pain. Okay? So I'm not going to sit there and try to, push that needle, rub the salt in the wound or any of that shit. Humble pie tastes like shit. It does. All right. Golf got leveled in that pick six. It could have been called back. That's a tough one, pal, especially after watching Mahomes flop calls. 100% correct. I think they made that call up, or not that one. I think they made a call up for Washington or for Detroit for that missed call, right? So pick six, they're running back, and Goff gets drilled. Up high, helmet, into his helmet. It kind of hit him on the butt into it, hit him on the chin. And I thought to myself, I go, man, is he going to be out for the game? And I thought to myself, no, there's no way. They're trying everything they can to get the Lions into the Super Bowl. They have to, right? And so it got him on the button. He comes out and looks okay, whatever, he's fine. And they're like, oh, you know what? They missed this call. That should have been, it shouldn't have been a touchdown, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? A handful, I don't know if it was the next quarter. It might have been the second half. I don't remember. Phantom face mask call. They take down Jahmyr Gibbs by a shoulder pad on the outside, not the inside, not the back, not the front, not whatever. Outside, take them down. And they're like, flag, face mask. I'm like, Jesus Christ, here we go. I was like, they want the Chiefs. They want the Lions in the Super Bowl. They want them both in there. But there you go. There's your call. And then they scored a touchdown, which was fine. It is what it is. But that's, you see a call like that, and you're like, oh, they missed this call. Well, they gave you that call. Okay, so shut up. Let's move along. And usually when it's like a 14-point difference at the end of the game, I kind of look back at it and I go, yeah, that was a 14-point play. You guys should have totally won. It is what it is. But yeah, you're right, Michael. Humble pie tastes like shit. I mean, yeah, it's just, and it's like the fan base, the fans, everyone. I was like, they have to get into a boat race. It's like, I made this post about they missed a face mask later in that drive. Refs just suck. They do suck. It's got to be their worst year ever. It's got to be their worst year ever. And I made a post earlier in the week about the Minnesota Vikings, right? I wasn't buying them. They just don't look good, right? And so I was like, why do they sometimes look good and sometimes look bad? And then I looked at who they played against and everything like that. Yeah, most of their wins were against teams that were sub 500. Like their record was like 33, like .333. That was like 10 games that the Minnesota Vikings won. They won 14 games this season. 10 of those wins were against teams that had a .33 win percentage. So yeah, no, you can beat up bad teams. And that was someone else brought up the fact that like, I don't know why they're not talking about Jared Goff as MVP candidate because he's not. When you run up the score on the Jaguars or the Collin County Community College, it doesn't matter. That is just like false stats. It does not matter. It's crap, right? When you beat up on teams that, they're like, we dropped 50 on who? On Jacksonville. Okay, cool. No one else is like actively trying to score points in the second half of a game that you're already up by like 28 points. Okay. So, and then of course, when you take a look at the Lions schedule, it's a little bit better than the Vikings, but yeah, they didn't really play a lot of teams either. And the teams they beat, when they beat the Rams, it was like week one, they beat the Rams. They had to go to overtime and there's some questionable calls on that one too. But then the following week they lose to the Bucks. Yeah, they beat the Cardinals. They beat the Cowboys. They beat the Vikings. I said the Vikings were fake. They beat the Titans. Green Bay had a weird year. I expected more out of Green Bay. I respected those Green Bay wins a little bit more. But yeah, the Colts, Bears, Jags, Bears again. I mean, you know what I mean? They're in a conference that's kind of interesting. Anyhow. And then, of course, they lost the boat race to the Bills. So I'm like, well, that's kind of what you're going to run into if you get to the Super Bowl. if you play the Bills, I mean, the Bills hung 48 on you. Lamar and crew can do the same. The Bills can do the same. I mean, the lowest scoring team that you have the potential of actually facing in the Super Bowl, I think, are the Kansas City Chiefs. You're not playing the Jags in the playoffs. You're not playing the Jags in the Super Bowl. It's not going to happen. You will play better. This is something I brought up towards when we were kind of talking about not only the Detroit Lions, but just teams in general, like, with these great records, but they play no one. You're going to run into good teams. And the Commanders were actually a really good team. They did what they needed to get done. Their defense isn't terrible. Dan Quinn's a good coach. What do you think was going to happen? You thought they were just going to steamroll Washington? Washington, they're not bad. They'll blow out some terrible teams too. They struggle sometimes, but they got a rookie quarterback. I mean, hell, they beat Philly back in December, 36-33. And I think Philly should win tomorrow. So that's that's your NFC Championship game. This was your best chance at a Super Bowl right now. The NFC is weak. Yeah, all your defenders got hurt, or defensive players got hurt, and no one is shedding a tear for you. You know why? You have the dirtiest defense in the league. The dirtiest. So when your guys get hurt, no one gives a flying F about it. 4 carries. Oh, you're talking about Montgomery? I thought the lack of Montgomery was a problem. 4 carries in the first half. Yeah, I mean, they switched their game plan. They used to play those guys. Now they are, I'll say this, they're definitely, they're not sharing the load like they did before, right? They're nursing him back a little bit, and they didn't want to, I think, overload Montgomery. Montgomery's an amazing back. He's back way too early. I mean, I'm not saying way too early. Obviously, he cleared whatever he needed to clear to get in this game. But all throughout the season, it's like 50-50 split between him and Gibbs. And tonight was just Gibbs nonstop. But yeah, the Commanders they're no slouch. Did I see them getting in this game and messing some stuff up? Yeah, a little bit. Absolutely. I had concerns. Washington is not a bad team, but I'll tell you, and I brought this up again. I know I say that a lot. I brought it up. I go, what's the plan for the Lions fan? I'd ask Alan that. I'm like, you don't have a really great head coach. You got a hype man. How long do you give him? How long do you give Campbell? He's like forever. He's going to be our coach forever. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Once you start hearing crazy talk, you just kind of tune out. I'm like, well, how long are you giving Goff? And he's like, no, we're going to win. We're winning this year. We're winning. And it's like, okay. I mean, this is the year to do it, And then like with other Lions fans we've talked to and has been in here, it's like, this is your year to do it. The NFC is incredibly soft. Really just have to beat Philly. That's it. I mean, you got to beat Philly. Washington was there, and they kind of came out of nowhere. They got that wild card, but you're like, okay, leave the hype man alone. This loss is on him. Somewhat. He's lost other games doing this dumb shit. Not to say that anything tonight was like incredibly dumb. Like that, it's like these trick plays and just whatever. It's fun for the game. I'll tell you that. It's fun to watch. You never know kind of what's going to happen. But they met their match on going for it on 4th down. They met their match tonight. Washington goes for it on 4th down, I think, just as much as they do. And no other team does. So all the teams they've ever played, they're just like, oh, yeah, we're gonna punt it. We're going to punt it away, type thing. And, of course, Minnesota tried that but Minnesota's just not that team, man. Minnesota's just not that team. So, but, I mean, you look at the NFC, this was their year. And it could be their year next year, too. Now, let's be honest. I don't think a whole lot of things are changing. They should have all their guys back. So when something happens and they lose, there shouldn't be any excuses, right? Or I'm sure they'll come up with something. All teams do. All teams do. Not just them. All teams do. But, yeah, I mean, just chill out. Just chill, right? And Texans should be thanking their lucky stars that they were in that game with the Chiefs, because they beat I don't know what the hell happened to the Chargers. The Chargers asked the bed. Ugh. Not that they were going to do anything anyways. Let's be honest. Chargers aren't winning anything anytime soon. The AFC belongs to the Ravens, Bills, Chiefs. If the Bengals could win a couple games early in the frickin' season or beat the frickin' Patriots week 1, could be a different game. Could be a different story. But you know what? You can't. Suck it. It sucks to suck. You know? That's just how it goes. So, but yeah. Tomorrow night tomorrow, 2 p.m., you got Rams going to Philly, take on the Eagles. Eagles should handle this game. I guess I could take a look at the points, because I will be live tomorrow after that game. I couldn't resist. I had to get in here. I had to go live. I had to do this. Was a deflating loss. Tough to get back at the spot. I'll be honest. It might weigh them down a little bit. I don't know what well, you know what? Let me see. I'm looking right now, because they should have the opponents, not the schedule. What do we got here? Okay, here you go. The 2025 set, before we get into the point spread for tomorrow. Home games will be against Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, whatever games, conference games. You got Dallas, New York Giants, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay. Win. I don't flip a coin. They're like, the NFL's like, yeah, we're going to run it back one more time. Just in case something happens here, we're going to run it back one more time. Jesus Christ, what a soft schedule. Road games, Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, Washington, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Kansas City, Rams. Well, maybe a win on the Green Bay one. Maybe flip a coin. Minnesota, flip a coin. It's tough to beat a team back-to-back in your division, or twice in one season in your division as well. So they did it this year, yeah. But will they do it next year? I don't know. Flip a coin for the second one. It's a win at home. It's a flip a coin on the road. Washington, I don't know. You know what they'll do is they'll be like, this is a revenge game, and like something will happen with Washington where they don't even have like Jaden Daniels playing, and they'll beat the piss right out of them. They're like, yeah, see, we're gonna hang a banner. We beat the Super Bowl champs or some dumb shit. Philly, no slouch. Tough on there. They struggle a little bit on the road. Cincinnati, you never know what you're gonna get with Cincinnati. No idea. Baltimore, come on, it's Baltimore. Kansas City, and then the Rams. Detroit making the playoffs. Detroit probably win the North. And that's a pretty soft schedule at home. Coach Saleh interviewed for a head coach job for the Cowboys. Yeah, they're interviewing everybody. Yep. Interviewing everybody. Let's see. Tomorrow, another big spread. Eagles giving 6.5 to the Rams. Over on a set of 42. So obviously I think it's going to be a little bit of a low-scoring game. The afternoon game, or the 5:30 game. The game of the frickin' week. You know, the game tonight was fun to watch. It really was. It was everything you wanted. Fireworks, crazy shit, bad calls, whatever. Everything you wanted. But tomorrow you have the MVPs, the top MVP candidates. And whoever wins this game will probably win the Super Bowl. Unless the refs get involved. But yeah, I had picked the Bills. I think the Bills should win this game. Obviously, the Ravens are their favorite. They're a 1-point favorite. They're minus 120 on the money line. Bills are getting even money. I don't know. I don't know about this game. It's one of the toughest ones to pick. I kind of just want to watch it and enjoy myself. No way you can predict anything next year. I wouldn't be shocked if they're fighting to get in. No, they'll be in. Listen, do you think it's some type of fluke that all of a sudden everyone that was somewhat decent in the NFC North is all going, Rodgers is gone, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden the Vikings are kind of winning and Detroit's on top. No, it's just turnover. You know what I mean? Maybe the Bears might be pretty good. I don't know. Maybe Caleb will have a good second season. I expect big things out of Jordan Love, but I don't know. but I'll be putting money back down on the Lions to win the North. Yep, just like I did this year. So I picked them to win the most games and to win the North, and they tied with Chiefs for the games won, and they won the North. So, but yeah, no, I mean, it's their road games are tough. Their home games are, though. I mean, they might go undefeated at home. No way I can predict anything I want. Huh? How about that? And then you got the Monday night game, college football championship. Ohio State, number 8 seed, taking on Notre Dame, number 7 seed. Ohio State's an 8-point favorite. How did we get here? Everybody wanted to expand the college football playoffs, so this is what you get. You get Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Cool. All right. I think that's it. I think we're good here. Man, it's cold outside. Oof, temperature is dropping. All right. Yeah, I'll probably go live tomorrow just from Strikeout Beer. I know you see me right now on SB Fantasy Football, Strikeout Beer, both channels. But tomorrow night, it'll just be Strikeout Beer. You know, SB Fantasy will just be on Wednesday nights. Unless something crazy happens tomorrow. But I totally intend to just go from Strikeout Beer. Have a couple beers. I've been doing some beer reviews as well. Picked up a couple extra beers. Tomorrow night, the beers of the night from a brewery is Parker County Brewing, right down the street from Mr. Henson here. So I'm going to clean those out. I've been trying all month to get these beers out of my fridge. We're 18 days in. I've been making a dent in it. But, yeah, I'll do Parker County tomorrow. I think I have 3 from there. I'll check the labels, see what they are. We'll go through that. We'll recap the NFL games of the day, kind of look ahead. I'm off on, obviously, Monday as well. So, I don't know if I end up at another brewery or something like that. I've only hit 2 breweries up this year. I got to start checking some boxes. So Monday I might go to a couple more breweries just to knock them out. They're up the street from here. I don't even like going there, but I'm just going to go there. Check boxes. Anybody got anything fun going on this weekend? Well, we got a nice little Sunday, a little bit of football. Monday, holiday with some football at 6:30. It's kind of an early game, but those college games kind of last a little long. Yeah. All right. Henson, appreciate you being in here. Lizzie, thanks for being in here. Everybody else popping in. Duncan, Drew, Slett, Dason, Steve. Appreciate y'all being here. Everybody on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm going to get out of here. Might go live from Rapid Dave. Might. That's a loose maybe. So, but yeah, there you go. That's your final today. Crazy upset. Commanders thumping the Lions. And then business as usual with the Chiefs taking on the Texans. I don't know. Who do I have right now? I'll let the other games play out because I've been talking about the Bills going to the Super Bowl this year for a while, and I had the Lions going to the Super Bowl just because I'm like I gave into the hype, and then I was like, who else is out there? Who's there? I mean, well, no, did I say Eagles? I might have said Eagles. I don't know, but everybody started talking about the Lions and Lions versus the Chiefs, and I think I mentioned that a handful of weeks back because they were the favorite to go. Those 2 teams were the favorite to go to the Super Bowl and face each other, and they were both just lightning hot teams right at the time. But I've been saying Bills for a while. Give me Bills, Eagles. I mean, I'll tell you what, Jaden Daniels gets in there, wins the Super Bowl. I mean, they got to win one more game and they're in it. So, give me the chaos. I have no faith in the Rams. I don't think the Rams are going to win anything. But Ravens, Bills tomorrow night. Can't wait. All right, I'm RD. I'm out of here. Y'all be good. I'll see you tomorrow night. Adios.